Welcome to another episode of Emma's Bunker. You're actually going to hear two intros on today's episode because I'm recording this after I recorded the episode. So here's what the deal is. I asked my friend to come in and I gave him the wrong time. I fucked up. So I was in the studio by myself and I thought, I might start talking about my fucked up tooth, dive into some thoughts on this audition I did that was extremely uncomfortable, porn, and then I pull in the engineer who's also a comedian and has his own podcast, Elliot GB. Fuck, did I say that right? Yeah. Okay. GB is your full last name?
That's Gilbertson Brown.
Okay, Elliot Gilbertson Brown comes in, give me some insight on porn. Yeah, and that's what you're about to get into. So sit back, relax, or get up and get to stepping. And I talk about how I'm trying to be more inclusive when I talk about stepping in general in the episodes. So this is a little intro, and you're about to hear another little intro, but this is like the for real intro. So enjoy the episode. Write in EmmasBunker@gmail.com. Please rate and review on iTunes, and I appreciate you. What's up? Welcome to another episode of Emma's Bunker. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. You know, I got this crazy thing happening right now in my face. Oh, also, I'm Emma. I'm your host, and I just want to start by saying I think everything's going to be okay. All right, now that that's out of the way. Crazy thing is happening in my face. I got a lot to discuss, and we got a guest, but I have to address what's happening in my face. So I've been talking about the last couple episodes. My veneer popped off, and there's a little snaggle tooth underneath it. It was popping off sporadically. Recently, it's popping off like it's popping off. It's popping off like it's popping bottles, popping off. Just got a huge raise, and it's ready to go. My tooth. I'm going to show you guys what I look like without the tooth. All right? It's horrifying. If you ever wonder if a little thing can make a big difference, if you're ever like, what's my part in the world? I'm just one speck of dust. Know that a little thing can make all the difference. For example, and if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. You got to go on YouTube and see. This is me with all my teeth. Ready? Now here's without the veneer. It's fucked up, man. No shade on anyone who doesn't have all their teeth, but this is what it is for me. Woo! Shit! If you didn't think I was from Maine before, if you didn't think I was from the backwoods of Maine before, you know now. You know now. Look at that. I got a call today. My girlfriend called me, and it's hard for me to talk without it too. I'm got a lisp. My girlfriend called me, and I was in bed eating rice and chicken with mustard because I'm on a diet, and I'm eating with my hands because I'm a beast, monster. And she called me FaceTime style. I wasn't thinking. I picked it up. Don't have my tooth in because I was chomping, and she was like, Are you? Is your tooth out because you're eating rice cakes? And I was like, no, it's just like rice and chicken, but that's besides the point. And her reaction to seeing me without my tooth, I felt so vulnerable. And I feel vulnerable now, but this is what it is, okay? It's okay. It's okay. I'm lucky I can put my tooth back in, and I'm going to do that right now. All right, here we go. Yeah, so that's what's up on the tooth front. Proud of myself, though, getting my steps in. I love hearing from you guys about you getting your steps in. So many inspiring stories. My buddy told me he had a friend that lost 85 pounds through getting in 10,000 steps a day, and he does it in 20-minute increments, and he lost it over the course of 2 years. Woo! From stepping. That's awesome. So if you're listening to this, get up, walk around. And if you can't, physically, if you're in a wheelchair or something, I don't want to exclude you from this moment, this movement of a moment. Roll around, like get in the chair and do some. There was this guy in my elementary school, Willie. He was ripped in the arms, but he would, during gym class, he would keep up with everybody in his chair. So, not gonna pretend like everybody can walk. If you can, let's get the step in and appreciate it. And if you can't, you're not missing out. It is what it is. And you can do things that we can't do. So, poking around in the news because just trying to find stuff that's not like the election. I'm just trying to do it, I found this story. It's supposed to be inspirational, but I didn't interpret it that way. Okay. And I wasn't planning on doing a solo episode today, so if I'm all over the place, then giddy up. Here it is. Okay, so I was watching this ESPN thing about a wrestler. It was an inspirational story about a wrestler in college who had one leg and won a wrestling match. And that's part of what made me start thinking about me with my steps. I'm like, I'm being a little inconsiderate here. But in this case, this wrestler won a wrestling match, like in a feat of incredible strength. I mean, they had little clips of it. It's an amazing thing to behold. And it really is an inspiring story for everyone, except, I don't know, the guy that lost that match. I couldn't help but be like, ooh, that's a lose-lose situation for him. Because what's he going to do? Win? Good job, fuckface. You beat the wrestler with one leg. Go shoot yourself in a bucket. Or what's else going to happen? He's going to lose? Oh, you know, that's not a winning situation for him to be in any case. So I do try to find the positivity in all things. So I was like a little curmudgeoned at myself that's where I took this inspiring story. But I mean, you know, that's a raw deal for the guy with two legs. Like, can you imagine just doing the warm up? Mr. Two Legs is over there doing moves, and all of a sudden you're looking at him, and you're looking at the guy with one leg. Like, the two-legged guy just looks like an asshole just by virtue of being there and stretching. So I'm trying to stay positive, get my steps in, and keep it moving. I had an audition, and I've been getting some messages asking about audition and acting advice, and I'm going to think before I speak on that publicly because I don't have too much to say about it, believe it or not. Maybe I'll answer those questions sometimes when my Adderall has, like, my ADD pills have really kicked in, so then I just will talk about anything, but I want to think over my advice on that subject because I just don't have anything unique to say about it. It's just like, submit yourself and get them and try to do them, and it's rough. Take it from me. I have a tooth that pops out of my mouth, you know. But I had this audition, and it was to be a host of a children's show. And I felt like such a psycho because they asked me what I did for fun now and what I did for fun as a kid. Now, the truth is, for fun as a kid, I used to pretend that trees in my yard were either princesses, and I would kiss them. Me and my friend Josh, we would stand on other sides of the tree, and we would like kiss and like touch the tree. Or bad guys, and we would take sticks and violently hit them and kill them. And we would play these elaborate, really dark, fucked up games about like death and love and sex, and that's what we would do. So I can't share that. And then I also always used to pretend that I was a boy. That was something I did. I would make my sister say, I'm a boy to people in public, calling me a boy to try to trick people around me. So that was something I did. I was really obsessed with my lemonade stand. I never sold any lemonade, but I was like really obsessed with it and trying to sell lemonade that I was clearly store-bought, but I made a sign that said it was homemade, and I got in trouble for that. So those were the things that I did for fun. Now, I can't share those on an audition for a children's show. That's not going to work out. That's not what they're looking for. They want someone that's upbeat, well-rounded, you know. So I was Googling, like, what do people who are well-rounded, what did they do for kids? What did they do as kids? And I felt like such a psycho because I felt like someone who's a serial killer and is about to go on a date and they're like, ooh, I can't say anything about myself. So they're Googling, like, what do people who aren't serial killers talk about so they don't know that they're about to chop them up? That's what it felt like because I felt like I was trying to cover up the things that I did to then go in and act like semi-normal in this audition, and boy, did it not read well. I look like I'm trying so hard to be like the cool aunt, just like, hey kids, welcome to the puzzle challenge. Hey kids. Best case scenario, cool aunt. Worst case scenario, coked up uncle going through a divorce, who's trying to get his kids back, and he's crying outside the courthouse like, hey kids, remember your dad. That's what it was really bad. But I went today and recorded it and I sent it in, and my manager actually just called and was like, I like the first one better actually, which is probably because the second one was also so bad. Not really a nod to the first one. I want to talk a little bit about well, maybe porn, I guess. I was a guest on my friend's show this week, Taylor Strecker. I was a guest on her podcast, Taste of Taylor, and it was really fun. I do her morning radio show once a week, and towards the end of the episode, she mentioned something about porn, and I was like, Taylor, I watch tons of porn. And she was like, what? I didn't know that about you. And I don't know, I guess I thought her and I had discussed it before, but yeah, I watch a lot of different porns, and I don't really feel, it's not like a fun thing, I think, after you've been watching it for years and years. See, that's what I do for fun. So circling back to that fucking kids audition, when they say, what do you do for fun also as an adult? I mean, go to the chiropractor, watch porn, which isn't even fun for me anymore. Sometimes there's moments when I'm eating Skippy peanut butter when I go in for the first scoop where I'm like, ooh, I'm having fun. But by the second and third scoop, I'm depressed. So that's short-lived fun. The fun, these aren't things like fun. Sometimes I feel moments of contentment or pride, but like specific moments, what do I do where I'm like, I'm going to set out and go do fun? Any of those things I can't do anymore because I overdid them. I don't drink. If you had asked me like 10 years ago, I would have said I had beers, and I can have beers for fun. But guess what? Then I'm, also drunk on Craigslist at 5 a.m. trying to snort Adderall. So it's the fun with me is it's a not necessarily a great concept. So porn, it's not something I do for fun. It's more of like, sometimes when I'm watching porn, I feel like I'm clocking in. Like I'll be like, I should watch porn now. I've got an hour. I'll watch a little bit of porn. Then I'll get to my emails. It's like, it's comforting. There's that. Here's why it's comforting. I think the reason that watching porn can be comforting is you are in total control. You're in control of what you look at. You're in control of what you judge in yourself. You're in control and you're not alone. And aren't those two very valuable, important things? It's sad in a way that I get that through porn, but it is also interesting and inspiring, I think, to notice what makes people feel good in terms of things that we go for, like not feeling alone. That's so important. That's huge. Being like, I'm not alone right now. Like you listening right now, you're not alone right now. Whatever it is, you're not alone. You're unique still. You're the only one of you, but you're also not alone with it, which seems like they would, cancel each other out. But I really sincerely do not believe that to be the case. Unique, but not alone. And I guess the way I can instantly get myself to that point without doing any work or effort is looking at porn. So I'll click around, and I don't know. I don't know if other people that identify how I do, like other lesbians, like watch porn like I watch. I don't know. Usually when I talk about it, people are like, what the fuck? I didn't know lesbians watch porn like that. And I'm like, I don't know if they do. I can only speak for myself. I don't get the vibe. Most of the fucking lesbians at the Park Slope Co-op cleaning their Subarus are going back watching fuck my wife porn. I don't get that vibe. I would be pleasantly surprised, if they're like talking about recycling during the day, watching gangbang porn at night. That'd be a pleasant surprise. People are multifaceted. But I don't know. I'd be very curious what types of porn people watch, because it's not usually something you want in your real life. I was talking about on Taylor's show some of the porn that I'll watch, because it's true. After you watch it for a while, one, you realize what you like. Also, you need to be ramping it up. So now I usually like pretty extreme verbal porn, and not just because I like talking. It's not like I'm like, ooh, more time to communicate. It's just that's what I'm more auditory than listenatory. I'll watch like a fucking heinous visual with some good dialogue any day over like a hot person just saying nothing or the same lines. Even this morning, I watched something, clicked right out of it, but it was filed under dirty talk, and it wasn't. It wasn't. The guy was like, it'd be like, yeah, you like that? And then she would be like, yeah, fuck me, I like that. And then like, and sometimes the dirty talk does start to pick up where it gets a little more, but then he'd be like, yeah, you like that? And she was like, yeah, fuck me, I like that. I'm like, you just said that. You put in this isn't dirty talk porn, this is just porn. I need more tension, I need more something. And it felt like they were both mailing it in. I said, God damn, you think I got all day to sift through these porns, label them correctly? But I was in total control of that situation, so that felt good too. Like you're not having to explain yourself at all. It's nice. I don't know. There's something really comforting about that. And I'd be so interested if any straight women, because I would say the majority of my friends probably are straight women, and maybe one of them watches porn, and I don't even know why I'm saying I think she does. Other than that, I really do not think that they do, and I wonder why that is. I would love to know. Please email me, EmmasBunker@gmail.com, what your thoughts are on why straight women don't like porn. Actually, we got the time right now. Let's look up, or maybe they are just not put in a position to openly discuss liking it. I don't know. Let's look it up. I think that they are, though. I think that they are. Oh, this is surprising. First thing that comes up from Vice is women tell us why they prefer porn with no women. Interesting. And then also from Health Magazine, why even straight women love to watch lesbian porn. Now, I don't like the way that is phrased. That's a little sassy and mean, actually, I think, to men. Why even straight women? Nah, because lesbian, I'm not watching that. I want the man in the porn. I want the man or whatever. I want a person with the penis in the porn, because that's where I want my mind to be, to pretend like I like to self-actualize with that. That's very important to me. Key to the attraction. Doesn't mean I want anything to do with that, but I don't want anything to fucking do with, the pizza delivery girl who also forgot the pizza. Now she has to get fucked for 7 days straight. I don't want anything to do with any of this. I'd probably just really want still want the pizza, at least breadsticks, something. So you go for things that you don't necessarily want in your real life, and that's part of what makes it something that you're either willing to pay for, which I have paid for porn, and I felt so mature about it. I was like, I'm growing up. I'm growing. The second I bought a real porn subscription, I was like, this is an adult now. So why even straight women watch lesbian porn? I think it's because there's like a curiosity element to it too. But I do not think, and I'm basing this off of absolute nothing, I don't think that quote unquote lesbians watch lesbian porn. So could be wrong. Write in EmmasBunker@gmail.com. Lots of lesbians I know watch gay guy porn. But again, most of the people that I would be talking to regularly, I guess, would probably be straight women. And I have heard them say actually that they watch lesbian before, which is so interesting to me. Why is that? I mean, it's something we can't deny. I can't deny the porn I watch. I can't deny that I watch it because it has a certain effect on me. But so it's not like, because intellectually it makes no sense. Even watching gay guy porn, like intellectually this makes no sense. Side note, if Trump and Biden were gonna have sex, who'd be fucking who? I don't know. I've thought about if it was George Bush and Obama many a time. I think Obama would be the top, I think. Okay, so Women tell us why they prefer porn with no women. That goes against them saying that even straight women watch lesbian porn, which is mean to both straight women and lesbians, kind of. Even straight women watch lesbian. It's not mean to lesbians. It means even straight women. Those stupid, even straight women. I am shocked that who does it? Oh, and it's even straight women. Wow, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's everybody there. Yeah, even straight women. Which is not how I feel. Here's what they say. Women tell us why they prefer porn with no women. I used to YouTube emo boys kissing. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Anybody who watches porn knows you can't watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on RedTube. Honey, baby, child. Come on. That's like me trying to pose as someone who is a serious worker outer and being like, yeah, anytime I try to get some reps in at the gym, I make sure that I don't go to the gym. Like, it doesn't make sense. You'd be like, no, you need to go to the gym to get those, whatever. That was a really bad analogy. I was trying too hard with it. But that just shows if you're going on YouTube. It's like whenever I want authentic Mexican food, I just find the spiciest thing on the menu at the Olive Garden. And you're like, okay, so this is not even in the ballpark of where you would go for that if you're in the know. Doesn't matter if you brought in Tabasco sauce. You're still at the Olive Garden. Bastardizing the breadsticks. So I used to YouTube emo boys kissing, which was a gateway. Okay, so it's a gateway. All right, I jumped the gun. Each year that Pornhub puts out user data, we're reminded that women make up a substantial 37% chunk. Interesting. Okay, with the amount I watch, I might be 8% of that. 37% chunk of the company's gay male porn viewers. Ba-boom! According to 2016 findings, gay male porn is the second most viewed category by women on the site. Lesbian is the first, but only by a small margin. That is so interesting. I want to know more. It is also revealed in this study that 18 to 24-year-old women are 24% more likely to watch gay male porn than other age groups. Okay, that makes more sense. More internet savvy, I would say, probably, I guess. Actually, I don't fucking know. I don't know about that. But perhaps it's not surprising that more and more women are ditching heterosexual porn for something a little gayer. Heterosexual porn is predominantly made for and by men, meaning it rarely caters to what women want to see, without meaning to yuck anyone else's young. For most women, watching another lady get spermed on doesn't quite cut it. Yeah, I mean, getting spermed on, is that a real phrase? Yeah, have you heard that? It's not a real phrase? Okay, neither of us have ever heard that before. And that really sounds like something that someone that like never has sex would say. You're about to get spermed on, girl. What? Oh, come. Okay, watching another lady get spermed on? Wait, let's see if this is a man or a woman that wrote this, because this sounds like a woman who's like a real bitch. It's a woman. Laura Bell. All right, Laura Bell. Yeah, most people don't like to watch women get spermed on. Neither do men. I don't think anyone wants to watch anything that has the phrase sperm.
Would like to see somebody get spermed on. Please. I cannot sperm myself if someone is not spermed on. I need the spermed on my bifocals.
So they don't like it seeing women get come on. Interesting. I don't necessarily like that aspect of the porn, but I do like it right up to that point. It's not just the content that women are finding unsatisfactory, it's also the context. Much of the heterosexual porn out there can be quite exploitative. Absolutely. Dehumanizing. Absolutely. Degrading. Absolutely. And display troubling gender dynamics. Yes, this is true. And I just want to comment on that. Yes, this is true. And I've been with people that do want to kind of fantasize, role play out those those troubling dynamics, but that have nothing to do with gender and everything to do with like a power structure. But it's very tricky because it's like when you watch them to get turned on by them, it's like you also have to understand the context of play involved, but that is asking a lot too of the people that are watching it. Like, to me, in porn or in life, the one that is more submissive actually has more control because they're the ones that are saying what the boundaries are. Like they're the ones that'll be like, you can tie me up to the bedpost, but not the radiator. Do you know what I'm saying? So, well, my teeth almost came out. So while they might be visually the submissive one, they're also, I would think, would be the one calling more of the shots. That's also why anytime I've been in any type of a relationship, even close to that, they're usually the ones suggesting it. Because you want the submissive one to suggest that type of stuff. Because you don't want to just be like, if you're the one being more dominant and then doing that stuff, that's a slippery slope. If you want someone to be like, hit me or you can hit me, before you being like, I just want to hit you. You see what I'm saying? I've tried both, and it's awkward. Oh, there's just one fucking girl I dated that liked to get hit. Oh, and I couldn't stand her voice. It was like so Valley Girl. And I remember she'd be really picking on me all day. Like, you were like, I can't even do an imitation. I was like, you said you were going to do this, and like, you didn't do this, but like, you said, and like, I don't know, like, da-da-da. You know, I looked at these shorts, and they were a size 0, and I was like, who's skinny enough to wear this? And I was like, oh my God, me. So me and her were in the fucking grocery store, and she's like, do you want this cheese or this cheese? Like, we have to get the cheese, something with the cheese. And I just remember being like, I wanted that. It made me want to hit her sexually in a whole different way, which is so problematic and probably something only I can say as a queer person. But I would never hit someone out of the context of them wanting it too. So I was like, well, I just got to align my time of wanting to do the hit with the time the hit is getting requested. Because I'm not even into hitting the sexually, because I don't know if I'm doing it right. It's hard. And I mean, there was one person I remember really just smacking her. She was like, want her jaw dislocated, and that's like, it's really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for the aggressor in that situation. It's a lot. It's a lot to snap in and out of. This is years ago, by the way. So they don't like the heterosexual porn. It's dehumanizing, degrading, yes. But then some people can reclaim that context and be into that. One of the people I was with was into that. Also, while I'm saying this, I'm literally like, oh, I'm not getting that. If I air this episode, I'm not getting that children's show hosting job. I literally am in the same sweater when I went and did this audition and then went and came here. So if they Google me after they see the audition, they're like, oh, I recognize her in that highlighter sweater. And then they Google me being like, yeah, and it's really a lot when someone wants you to hit them and dislocate their jaw. It was really draining for me. So we'll see about airing this. But women consuming male on male erotica is far from a new phenomenon. That makes sense to me why straight male women would watch gay guy porn. I mean, the male body is pretty fucking awesome. I always think it's so confusing when people are like, or I've even watched porn where the guy, like with dad bodies, whatever. It's all about the intentions behind whatever they're doing. It is so strange. Actually, do you mind if I ask you? Why do you think people watch the porn that they watch? Not to put you on the spot.
You want me to get on mic?
Yeah, please. I'm curious. I was just curious what someone else thinks, if you don't mind.
Hold on 1 second.
Thank you. Is that something you're comfortable talking about?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
And also, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Elliot. Elliot GB. I don't know why people watch what they watch.
Because that doesn't make sense, right? Like, it doesn't make... I mean, I don't know how far afield most people are watching what most people watch to what they want in their actual bedroom. I don't know how big the chasm is for most people. For me, it's very big.
Yeah, I think that's true for most people. Is they'll watch it and it is like a fantasy thing.
Right.
Where they're like, oh, this is... I don't necessarily want to do this, but the fantasy in their mind of like, maybe, one day that could be me. But I don't think they would actually go that far a lot of the time.
Right. Because also, I guess, traditionally for guys, it's harder to find someone to have sex with than it is for women, straight guys. Yeah. So then with porn, it cuts out literally all the work. You're also not having sex with a real person, so there's that.
Yeah.
But there's this big porn category of people that have sex with like fake vaginas. Have you seen that?
Ooh, no.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
I didn't know they would film that.
Oh, it's like popping. Like there's this, it's because I always Google dirty talk. Like if I Google dirty talking daddy or whatever, That's something I Google a bunch, but I've seen all the top things. There's nothing good for me in there. I just kind of, I don't know. It's like before I get more creative, I Google that. And it's like all these guys having sex with fake vaginas, prosthetic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like fleshlights?
Fleshlights!
Yeah. Or like the like fake section of a body.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen those too.
That I feel like you have to carry around in like a briefcase.
Yes, yeah, totally. Yeah, right. That's so funny. I'm sure you do. Like, yeah, because it's like the butt to the below the butt area, and then I guess it's usually just the butt that you see.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing but also it's like then they can say whatever they want to say to that because there's no embarrassment of having because you're really putting yourself out there when you're trying to do dirty talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're like, you have to really be like in the moment. Otherwise, you feel like you're being hacky. Have you ever been with someone that was really into that, or like where you felt like you were maybe like not out of your league, but out of your experience level?
No.
Okay, really?
Thankfully, but I do have friends that will tell me some of the shit that they get sent, and I'm like, I would have to really know someone or like
Right.
really be comfortable with them. Because it's like, what if you do just cross that line? You think, this is going to be cool.
Right.
And then they're just like, yo, why the fuck would you ever say that? And
Right.
You're like, ooh.
Totally. Yeah, they're like, degrade me. And you're like, all right, you fucking, cum rag. And they're like,
Yeah.
wah!
yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
expect you to say that. It's the first time I was with someone that was really in dirty talk, and I tried talking about the story on stage, I was so in over my head and self-conscious. I put an ad up on Craigslist trying to find someone to practice dirty talking with me.
For real?
Yep.
Like a coach? Or not a coach, or just like someone that'll like listen?
Well, I wanted someone that would, I guess, be more of a coach. I just wasn't calling it a coach. Like, I wanted someone that would practice with me.
Yeah.
Or, I guess, do it with me, but the only person who responded was an older, I put it at Women for Women, and the only person who responded was an older Indian man.
Oh.
And I know that because his handle was like olderindianman69@gmail.com. And we started practicing, and it was actually like really fun. Like, it was anonymous. And he pretended he was a girl, and like he would let me pretend I was a guy. And it was so fun. And then he asked me to meet up in person and get cheesecake with him.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Cheesecake? Why?
You're like, now you're being weird.
Yeah, I was like, now you're being like, this guy's kind of a weirdo. And I try to like tell people, I'd be like, do you think this seems weird that this guy wants to get cheesecake? And they'd be like, well, how do you know him? And I was like, well, let's not get into that. But it is very interesting about, do you know straight women that look at porn?
Yeah. A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
And you feel like they genuinely look at it, they're not saying that because they think that's something you'd want to hear?
No, I think they genuinely do.
Do they look at straight porn or lesbian porn?
See, that's a good question. That I've heard people, it goes both ways.
Why are they looking at lesbian porn if they're not lesbians?
I don't know.
I mean, I watch straight porn and I would never watch lesbian porn. Ever. Like, I've never once in my entire life.
Really?
Never.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've watched like, couple fucks the babysitter.
Okay.
I've watched stepmom teaches daughter how to blow her boyfriend. But I've never watched anything that was just lesbian.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even... You couldn't pay me.
No one could pay you?
No, I just wouldn't do it. I'd be like, I don't know why. I would rather watch I'd rather watch that video. Nah, this is fucked up. Have you seen the video of the guy get fucked by the horse?
I think I've came very close to seeing it many times.
I would actually rather watch lesbian porn than that. I don't know why that is. I'm gonna talk to my therapist about it. She'll answer it quick too. She'll be like, oh, because. But, well, please write in and let me know why you watch the porn that you watch. Your first porn memories. Did you watch porn as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you doing it before you were 18 too?
Watching porn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you start Googling around and it's scary. And then you see on the website where it's like, must be 18 to enter. And then you're like,
Then you got a choice to make.
yeah, then you get a choice to make. Then you're
I
like,
don't want to break any laws.
right, split-second decision. You like picture what would happen. The cops come into your house, and yeah, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that insight.
No
Where
problem.
don't you have a podcast yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
They can find me on all platforms at Grent Radish, GrentRaddish. And check out my podcast, The Older Kids Pod, where we revisit childhood movies to see if they still hold up.
That's a great idea for a podcast.
It's fun.
It's so hard to come up with a fucking angle on something.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you don't need. I mean, have you ever heard of Heather McMahon?
No.
I was listening to her for the first time the other day. It was so fucking fun. She doesn't have an angle, because I'm always like, well, she does kind of have an angle. People call in and say something that they would absolutely not want. So they're like, absolutely not. And then they like call in and it'll be like, you know, socks with sandals or whatever it is. But it is really, really, really good. But that's, you know, because it's usually just like there'll be like one little thing that the podcast says is about, but really it's just another way for people to be like talking and, you know, entertaining and all that stuff. But all right, well, I'm gonna wrap this episode up while I wait for my guest to come in. But thank you guys as always so much for the support with everything. And you can email me at EmmasBunker@gmail.com. Today is Friday, so Friday, November 6th. So I'm trying not to watch stuff too closely. I mean, it feels like, I don't know if I'm being like problematic when I say that, but it just is what it is. I'm just trying to, you know, here's the thing. You can only control what you can control. And I really do, you know, we've been through more, we've been through less, and it's going to be all right. Thank you.